Hi guys.
Hey guys!
Gina!
Caroline! Hi Teddy!
Let's do a shot after us.
Hey everyone, get in. 3, 2, 1.
Have you ever done anything like this before?
I've never done this over Zoom. Obviously, we're not physically together, but there's no reason why Spirit can't communicate over the internet.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Visualize us sitting in a circle. Spirit, we invite you to use us to pass on any communication. Is there anyone there? Please come forth.
What was that? Amy, was that you?
I heard it.
I heard something.
I think there's something here.
Do you see that?
Hi, Gemma. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Mike. It's a Saturday. I look like a normal person, but I'm wearing my pajamas on my bottom half, so it's that kind of day.
Okay, so my question is, what is the genesis of Host?
So they Rob did a prank video like in the first month of lockdown. He was bored. He was doing all these Zoom calls with his mates who just happened to be actors, and he decided to prank them. And he basically said, "Oh guys, I'm hearing a noise in my attic." And he like went up with his camera while everyone was watching on Zoom and like did a kind of clever cut where he like cuts to like a scene from a movie where like a zombie like jumped out and ate his face, and everyone was just like, "Oh my god!" And like we're like, "Oh, we should call the police," that kind of thing. And that went up online. It got loads of traction. Like I think it got like 7 million views in like a few days, and off the back of that, like they got a lot of attention from production companies of like, do you have a longer version of this? Do you have a film? Can we like shoot this in lockdown? Because no one else is filming anything right now. And Jed came up with this idea, just like, he just texted Rob like Zoom séance. And then they brought me along, and the rest is history, I guess.
What research did you do when writing Host?
Research, I mean, we only had a couple of weeks to write the story for Host, so because we wanted to get the film out as soon as possible while everyone was still in lockdown, so there wasn't much time. We didn't even have a chance to write a script. We had a chance to write like a scriptment, like a 17-page document with the kind of plan for the film. So research is very limited to what we want this to feel like, so we watched a lot of reference movies that the guys introduced me to, and some I'd already seen, like Paranormal Activity 3, Lake Mungo, obviously like Blair Witch, Paranormal Activity 1, and this won't be familiar to everyone out of the UK, but a show called Ghostwatch that aired back in the late 80s in the UK. And we also did a real life séance with the actresses to kind of see how they respond to a medium and try and get some of that natural, authentic kind of reactions into the script.
What was your writing habit when you wrote Host?
So it was between the three of us, and we were all working from different places because of lockdown. We weren't all together. So we had a Google Doc, and it was literally just like on Zoom, like we are now, Google Doc open, like going through it, like making comments, moving things around. It was very collaborative in that sense. And then, I would go away and do like a pass on it. Then Rob would go away and do his pass. And it was really just like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And just building on what we had from the ground up, really.
Which screenwriter and filmmaker do you admire?
This is such a difficult question. I suppose, David Lindelof, absolutely, like the stuff he did on Watchmen and, The Leftovers is just, and Lost and stuff like that. It's like some of my favorite things. In the UK, I guess, in terms of TV, like Charlie Covell's doing some amazing stuff, like The End of the Fucking World. And they're like my biggest, like, I wish I was as smart as them kind of people right now.
How was your overall experience working with the director / co-writer Robert Savage and co-writer Jed Shepard?
It was just a joy. It didn't feel like work. I'd never worked with them before. I'd never met Jed in real life. I'd met Rob once, like 6 months ago. So it was all going in very like, oh, what's this going to be like? Are we going to get on? How can we build up trust? But it didn't feel like work. It was like we were laughing most of the time, and none of us had any expectations as well. So I suppose there was quite little pressure apart from the time pressure.
So of all the characters in Host, which is your favorite and why?
Oh God, I mean, it's probably Jemma, just because she's just such a troll. She's so playful in the film. So, I like how she's always taking the piss out of all the other characters. And even though it's her fault, it's just quite fun to watch a bit of an anti-hero.
Did you always wanted to be a screenwriter? What inspired you to become a screenwriter?
Growing up, I didn't realize that screenwriting was a job. So it took me a while. I mean, I wanted to be a psychologist, I think, for a while, and then realized I wasn't very good at science. So it's probably a bad idea. It wasn't until my 20s that I realized that you could do that. And it wasn't until my late 20s that I realized I was allowed to try and do that as a career. So I've worked in advertising and things like that beforehand, really.
So what book or movie had the most influenced your life?
Probably The Matrix. That was my first holy hell, it just blew my mind, and the concepts they have in it, the world, the smart sci-fi aspect of that. I suppose when I first saw that when I was, I don't know, 12 or something, I was just God, I'd love to be the creator of something like that. It must feel so amazing.
What's the best advice you have ever received about writing?
It's probably some advice I received at the Writers Guild Foundation festival last year. It was kind of, I'm really going to forget her name now and embarrass myself, but the advice was, you can't write anything without revealing yourself. As in, if you're not vulnerable, if you're not exposing yourself while you're writing, you're not writing anything worthwhile. You're hiding behind writing something really clever and intellectual, but you're not. If your stuff doesn't have truth and it doesn't have heart and it doesn't have authenticity, then it might as well just be, a dissertation, and no one wants to watch a dissertation on the screen.
So what was the last movie you watched in theaters before COVID-19 pandemic occurred?
It was 1917, which was out, the World War I film In the Trenches, which was insane. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was just it's all kind of smartly done in one kind of take, stitched together, but it really did feel so visceral and terrifying, you're back in the trenches. I think that was just before lockdown came in over here, really.
My next question is, what is the one thing you missed during, you missed doing since the pandemic occurred?
The idea that I could go on holiday, I guess. not that I am going on holiday, but just the idea that I could do it, the freedom to know that you're not just kind of stuck indoors. But otherwise it's just the real small stuff. It's just I can't see my friends and go for a casual drink and without fear of catching a deadly virus. That, just that the lack of anxiety about doing anything outside my room, I suppose.
Could you give us a sneak peek about your next project or what you're thinking of working on?
Well, I suppose the thing, I can't say too much about it, but the next project that me, Rob and Jed are collaborating on is Blumhouse film. I don't know if you knew about this. We've been got a 3-picture deal with Blumhouse, so the creators of the studio behind, they're not even a studio, production company, but behind Get Out and Paranormal Activity, Whiplash, all that kind of, they're big. And they liked Host, and they're giving us a chance to do another film. So this one, all I can tell you probably about it is it's not set on Zoom, and it's set now in the time right now where everything's a little bit transitional, coming out of lockdown. Ooh, is the outside world safe? Whether can I trust other people? Is that kind of it's going to be a film for uncertain times, basically.
Emma, how funny.
You know, we've connected with something. We gotta keep going. We gotta talk to it.
This is not good. I told you not to disrespect the spirits. It could be something demonic.
Haley, this is all you want! Not my fault! This is your fault!
Emma, turn the filters off. Come on.